You're working an office job, but you dream of becoming a data analyst. The problem, you're unsure how to get the experience without switching roles or even companies. What if I told you your current job already has everything that you need to start building your data analytics skills, creating a portfolio, and setting yourself up for future success? Truth is, most office jobs involve repetitive tasks, data management, or some type of reporting. These things can help you develop real-world analytics experience, and for those of you in roles where opportunities may not exist, don't worry, I'm going to cover what to do in those situations later in the video. Today, I'm going to show you how to leverage your current role to break into data analytics. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I became a data analyst over 13 years ago, and then before that, I didn't start in some glamorous role. I began as a temp worker doing data entry at a healthcare company. By learning the business, automating tasks, and then learning how to solve problems with data, I eventually gained the skills to become a data analyst and then eventually leave and get hired at a Fortune 500 company. So if you're serious about breaking into data analytics, hit that subscribe button because I'm on a mission to help 10,000 people break into data analytics. And I want one of them to be you. Let me take you back to when I was fresh out of college. I was dreaming of working in marketing, creating campaigns, diving into creative projects. But in 2009, when I graduated, it was still the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. The economy was rough. It was hard for me to find a job. Entry-level roles were pretty much non-existent, especially for a candidate like myself who had no experience, who had no achievements, and I was competing against people who were significantly better than me. The only thing that I could do at that time was take the job that I could find, which was a temp data entry position at a small to mid-sized healthcare company. And at the time, it felt like a dead end. But instead of seeing it as a setback, I made the most of it. I immersed myself in learning everything that I could about the business, the department that I was in, and from the people who were above me. I learned from the accountant, I learned from the data analyst. I started automating repetitive tasks in Excel and cleaning up messy data and then helping with the basic reporting. All of those small wins helped me stand out. And over time, I was promoted to assist the company's data analyst, which gave me my first real taste of working with data, and I loved it. But behind the scenes, I still didn't give up on that dream of wanting to work in marketing. So what I did outside of work was I volunteered at a local dance company to help build my marketing skills. This experience helped me gain and land a marketing job, but as rewarding as that job was once I got into it, I realized that I missed working with data and that I wanted to solve problems with data, streamline processes, uncover insights, and then start building tools again. Luckily, when I was feeling this inside, at the same time, I got a call from HR that the data analyst was about to leave. Because of the relationships that I built, because of my work reputation at my previous job, I had been recommended by basically everyone that I worked with previously to take over the role and come in and interview. And I tell that story because there's a few things that I want you to learn that you can significantly speed up your career rather than going down the same path that I did. If I were to do it all over again, here's what I would do differently to fast track my career as a data analyst. While I was assisting the data analyst, I would have scheduled one-on-one meetings with my boss, who was the director of the department, just to share my goal of becoming a data analyst. This is important because it's crucial that upper management needs to know your goals so that they can help you achieve them. This also is contingent on the fact that you have a good work culture and you have a good direct boss. It would have also given me clarity and direction and the opportunity just to bypass some of the aimless jumping around that I did when I was at that healthcare company. Also, I would have taken it a step further by speaking with our COO and our Director of Human Resources. Our CEO was an executive type that frequently checked in with her employees and had an open door policy. And her right-hand woman, who was the HR director, was instrumental in hiring and on the promotion side. So what I would have done was ask if I could just come in and schedule a private meeting to get career advice with them. So instead of just going into this meeting, just stating your goal of I want to become a data analyst, which is still important, you need to frame it in a way that still gives value to the company and also gives value to their roles. You have to think about it in a way that most people only care about what's in it for them. even if the executives really want to help, you need to be able to frame it from a marketing perspective to be able to see how you can give value and how it makes their jobs easier for you to become a data analyst. When you can frame it in that way and you can make all of the projects that you work on, all of the hard work that you're putting into this, and all of your achievements moving towards getting you to become a data analyst, and that it makes it easier for their jobs once you become a data analyst, then it makes it easier for them to promote you in the future. One of the most underrated skills that people don't emphasize is your soft skills. It's your ability to not only build relationships, get them to like you, and genuinely want to be invested in your future, but it's also your ability to communicate your vision and get people genuinely excited for pursuing and lifting up your own career. By showing excitement, by presenting a vision that benefits the company, you get leadership to buy into your career goals and you get them on your side. You make them want to see you succeed. Remember, on top of this, you have to deliver results first. You have to exceed expectations in your current role, track all your accomplishments, and over-deliver consistently. And when you do this, leadership becomes invested in your success and your promotions become faster and easier, and then eventually you'll be able to become a data analyst and get into that position. So the second thing that I would have done differently was I would have built momentum earlier and faster. So what I mean by this is I would have focused on applying my data science skills and data analytics skills by first automating all my manual tasks in Excel and Python, and then create small wins by automating this repetitive work so that I could free up my time for bigger projects, which shows you being proactive, which is important for leadership. Since my company didn't have SQL Server or allowed downloads of SQL tools, what I would have done was go directly to the IT director and propose using open source options like Postgres, SQL, or MySQL to handle more complex tasks. These tools are scalable and aligned with the skills that you're going to need at larger companies. But if IT couldn't approve this, I would have just kept building stuff inside Microsoft Access, which was available to us and is what I set my foundation in learning SQL in the very beginning. But when you want to get to the higher echelon of the different career routes, you're going to need to learn how to use more advanced SQL tools. So the key here is to start small, solve meaningful problems, and scale your solutions as you learn. Every automated process, clean data set, and dashboard that you create becomes a portfolio piece that also showcases your ability to work with data and sets you up for your future promotion. And step 3 of something that I would have done differently, and is more advice to my older self and people who are right at that promotion level, is the final steps and tips to get past that final hurdle. First, this approach only works if there's already data analyst roles at your current company, or if leadership is open to creating the title for you. If that's the case, here's how you can ensure that you're positioned to get the data analyst role. First, schedule your monthly one-on-one meetings with your boss. I mentioned this earlier, but I have to reiterate, this is important because you need these meetings to not only review your performance and get feedback, share your career goals, and to iterate and make sure that your boss is aligned with what you're doing and that they're excited about it. This consistent communication shows your boss that you're serious about your growth and it keeps your progress visible. And I have to underline visible because this is something that a lot of people don't understand. If all of the hard work that you're doing does not get to any of upper management, your boss doesn't see it and they don't understand it, it's going to be like you're doing nothing. And I've seen time and time again where people are working hard towards a promotion, but they don't tell anybody about it. They don't tell their management about it. And then they get passed over time and time again, and it'll be years before they leave the company to get a new role. 2, the next step is to have quarterly check-ins with key leaders. In my case, that would be with my COO and my HR director. Here, I would have it for quarterly career advice, and I would frame these meetings as opportunities to gain their insights, but on top of this, position myself as a problem solver. So for example, I would share my business impact, I'd share what I'm learning, and the things that I was able to achieve through automation and the different projects that I had under my belt. I would also learn to the business as best as I could. So when you get to understand the business at that level, you get to understand what are the pain points that are plaguing the business and that you could uniquely solve. So when I would go to these meetings, I would ask for advice on what different projects that I could work on next that would help the company greatly. And then I would present a bunch of new ideas and then talk about how they could solve company pain points. Then I would get their feedback, and then I would go to my boss and then pitch those projects. So you can go with the same idea, because if they're excited that you get to solve these problems, it sets you up faster for a promotion compared to other people who are not getting that type of feedback. 3, you want to track business impact. Document every project that you worked on, the results that you delivered, and how it benefited the company. Basically, automated a reporting process, saving 10 hours of work per week for the team. Created a dashboard that helped identify $50,000 in cost-saving opportunities. Those are simple examples. You want to add in more context, quantify it as much as you can so that it's more impactful. And then 4 is be proactive and reliable. When upper management sees you consistently solving problems with minimal supervision, you start to become a valued team member that they trust. And you start to become known as a top performer. And when you're a top performer, it becomes easier for them to say yes when you ask for a promotion or when you're next in line. And 5 is be kind and be persistent. And what I mean by this is, if you're up for promotion and you don't get it, don't be discouraged, don't get overly emotional, just take it as feedback, still be kind, ask for what you need to take those next steps, and don't let it get you down. But still be persistent, still have all of those one-on-ones. Dig for more information, but be kind about it. Don't be annoying, don't be that person that they don't want to see. But you still have to be proactive in how you get your career over that line. And then the 4th and last thing that I want to share from my own experience is to volunteer your time to build experience. So I mentioned this earlier, there's going to be some of you who do not have the ability to leverage your current job to gain the experience you need. Also, some of you will be able to gain that experience, but will be missing some of the experiences that you need to get a higher paying role. What I did when I first graduated, and what I mentioned earlier, was I had that dream of becoming a marketing coordinator, and I wanted to work for an agency. I wanted to work on creative campaigns. I wanted to do innovative projects. That vision stayed with me. And even when I ended up working in healthcare analytics and it was a great career path, I didn't give up on that dream. So what I did instead was I used my free time to build up the marketing skills and experience that I needed. I volunteered my evenings, my weekends with a small dance company and help them with their graphic design, campaign strategy, event coordination, and anything else that they needed where I could gain the marketing skills that I needed. It wasn't easy. I worked long hours between my full-time job and my volunteer projects, but the payoff was worth it. Not only did this give me hands-on experience in marketing, but it also expanded my network and helped me land my first marketing role because of it. So if your current job doesn't allow you to work with data, or you need additional experience to stand out, volunteering is a fantastic option. What you can do is approach small businesses, nonprofits, and even friends with side businesses and hustles and offer to help them analyze their data, build dashboards, or solve meaningful business problems. It might mean sacrificing your evenings or weekends now, but these projects are going to add depth to your resume and portfolio. And when you apply to your next role, you won't just say, I know how to analyze data. You'll show it with your portfolio pieces and measurable results that delivered real business outcomes. So volunteering is just one of the strategies you can use to get data analytics experience. If you're looking for more actionable tips, check out my video on how to get data analyst experience. Even if you have none, this is where I break down even more ways to build up the skills and portfolio that you need to stand out. So watch that next.